Buenos dias.
Hello.
What's up?
It's been a day.
Yep, I agree.
Hey, monkey. Did you get my message about the hirelings?
Mm, maybe.
It was, do we mind if I hire more, or do we want to put a hard limit somewhere?
Oh yeah, no, we're not going to hire like 500 guys. I think three is enough.
Fair enough. Yeah, if
Yeah.
that's where you want, if that's where you
Oh,
draw the line.
there I saw it.
Yeah.
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 Sorry,
I
I
was
missed that.
thinking I was thinking eventually I might like to get to the point where it's like, all right, well, I can have like a small armed like safe place next to whatever dungeon we're exploring.
Right.
You know, build up a camp and take like maybe three guys with me. But
Yeah.
if you want to just keep it to three and like the one kid that we hire, you
Yeah.
know,
I don't know how long he's going to stay around. I may just have him run away or something like that.
yeah,
Discuss.
on it. Honestly, if you want him to have already run away, I'm totally fine with that.
Yep, we can do that.
Yeah, I just picked him up because it was suggested as a
Yeah.
you know a good way of dealing with him. But
Yep.
okay. At what level do hirelings with class levels become available?
I'm gonna have to double check and look. Usually,
Mhm.
you don't start getting those until around ninth level. That's when you start
Okay,
getting tech, quote unquote followers.
sure.
So
Henchmen as opposed to hirelings.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll have
yeah,
to check that just to be sure.
yeah. I was wondering about that because I think it would be neat if these guys who live, when I get to the point where I can pay for and afford henchmen,
Yeah.
and the game rules allow me to have henchmen, it would be pretty cool if Stefan, after going into so many dungeons and just barely surviving, finally makes it to level one and earns that level one pay
Right.
as a henchman.
Yeah,
That would
it's
make that make it easier to track, but um,
this is going to be tough for you guys
yeah.
tonight because everybody's still first and second level except for Zadkiel. Nobody has leveled their character. Nobody's given me their updated sheets
Oh
except
shoot,
for
you're right.
Zadkiel. But that's okay. We can do that a little bit before tonight and stuff, so we'll be fine. What's going on with you, mine senior Tino? If we
Uh,
can even hear him.
I'm here. Just got home and
Yeah.
yeah. Hey.
But first, we drink.
You have to forgive me. I don't have a lot of energy today, so
That's a mood.
That's okay.
real busy. Stuff. What time do we start?
7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk about it too because I'm thinking that in order to sort of sync up with the Friday game, we may back us up till 5:30. I mean till 7:30. That way, you guys can have a little extra time to get here, and then like I said, I'm on sync with the Friday game.
Uh-huh. I don't understand what you were saying. What?
What? Huh? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you. I didn't understand what you were saying. What
Well,
were you saying?
I'm saying is that our game is normally at 7, but I think going forward after this week, I'm going to back it up till 7:30 in order to be in sync with the 5e game. So the 5e games at 7:30, the 1e games at 7:30, all the games on this channel will be at 7:30.
Oh, gotcha. I may, depending on how long you
Oh,
go.
it's going to be the same time. I'm not going to back up how long we go.
Oh,
So it's still going to be 7:30 to like 11:30. So it's still basically the same.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to bail on around 10 o'clock
Okay.
your time. 10 o'clock your time.
Yep. To-
Yeah,
totally all right.
just been real. I'm in the process of moving and.
No worries, man.
Yeah. It's been
Mhm.
some. Yep.
No worries at all.
I think after next week, probably Wednesday of next week, I'll be all settled in.
Cool. Could be just you guys tonight, so it could be an interesting. I'm just glad um, that Arthur is here because at least I don't have to play 5 NPCs. I only got to do 1 or 2, and I don't mind NPC and player characters because I just make them zombie fodder.
How many players do we have in this game? I forget.
We have 5.
Oh,
Normally we have 5. We just have to see if the other guys show up. So Valorius has already said he won't be able to make it tonight, so I'm just wondering if Adair is going to make it or not.
hey dear. The one who messaged me.
Yeah, didn't he say something about
Yeah,
not being able to?
yeah, he was saying that, but then last time he says he'll probably be able to make it. It's just however it goes with his job and stuff.
No, I don't think anything on my character sheet changes except for the new spell slot.
Yeah,
All right,
hit
and
points.
the HP and the HP. Yeah. So I'm just editing it right now. If anything else does change, I'm not sure what it would be.
Probably shouldn't be. But I have been doing this.
I think maybe. Yeah, that's for the parallel. The brain. Well, they use the Parentland campaign and the Parentland. You're probably a mod now, so you can probably see those. But they're on the same Discord server.
I don't think I'm a mod.
Mm-mm.
Okay, but you're still added to the Parentland campaign and Parentland.
Yeah,
Just the campaign.
yeah, it depends on if you were like followers and stuff like that I did.
Yeah, it looks like everyone can see the Parentland campaign one.
Just about. Two, one, here we go. And once again, we are live. For better or worse, welcome everybody to another episode of 1E1 Shots. I'm your host, Sean, the DM for this night's adventure, bringing you together with some of the finest RPG talent that the interwebs has to offer, including the 2 guys that decided to show up tonight as opposed to the rest who have yet to show up. So this is going to be an interesting game night as we kick off our next one shot, if you want to call it that, as our party has arrived at Keep on the Borderlands. So, if you haven't been here before, of course, this is our Monday night 1E game. Typically, we do this on Monday nights, obviously, and then on Friday nights at the same time, we do a 5E game, which is every other week. So if you missed us last week, you're going to have to wait a week. You can catch us next week, as the party on that group is currently involved in saving the world from some, or at least the region, from some potentially horrific device. But this group, having just left the village of Hamlet, taking care of the updating your sheet. Thank you, sir. As our party just left Hamlet, we have been working diligently to try to get these guys leveled up before they actually get into the Keep on the Borderland. But before all of that, how you guys doing? I know, Monkey, you're in the middle of a move. You said you just moving houses, you moving states, or what? Monkey, are you around? Is he?
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm moving to another house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Selling my house.
Nice.
Moving to another house.
Nice. Did you tell anybody where you're moving to? Or are you just gonna like pick up and move so nobody knows where you're at now?
No, everybody knows where I'm moving. Everybody knows where I'm moving.
Cool. And I know, how are things going with you this week? I know you were doing some stuff last week there, Arthur. So what's on the plate for you this week?
Getting ready to help another one of my friends move.
Oh yeah, it's not
yeah.
Monkey, is it?
No, not Monkey. It's another friend.
Nice.
Gonna be going down to South Florida for like a week.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of cool. You're not gonna miss any game time, are you?
Well, I mentioned to you that I was going to be going down there. I'll try not to, but I probably won't be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like figuring out what I needed, packing. Had to buy myself a travel suitcase, because I don't have one. So.
Right. Cool. So as we sit here, hopefully waiting on a couple of other players to arrive, at least one, like Adair had mentioned previously that he might not be able to continue the game at all, but then right after that he said, yeah, he should probably be able to. So I'm kind of confused as to what's going on there. It's like we had Lathor. Shane has yet to arrive, so hopefully he remembers. Sometimes he usually this is why I was talking about moving the game back to 7:30 as opposed to 7 o'clock, because a couple people, they seem to have it easier if we back it up a little bit. I'm not going to back up the end time, just cut 30 minutes off of our normal game time, which really I don't think is that bad of a deal. And so that way people can get here on time, and then we can still play a good 4 hours. And then hang out in the after party afterwards. So if you're just joining us, our party has arrived at the Keep on the Borderland. They have actually, where I placed it is actually on the southeastern corner of the mountains that border the Ulex states and the Pomars. So I just kind of put it down there just because I thought it would be an interesting place to put it, because you've got all of the humanoids from the Pomars are still sort of living in the mountains and stuff, in caves and such in the area, and this keep makes a perfect watch guard over the region as the humanoids were pushed back out of the Lortmill Mountains and stuff down into the Pomars and stuff. So I just thought it was kind of an interesting place to put it there. So yeah, last session, if you missed it, like I said, the party finished off Hamlet, and then they leveled mostly, and then they traveled here to the Keep on the Borderland, where they are supposedly or allegedly going to be looking for another evildoer. Supposedly the cult that they took care of in the moat house of Hamlet has another branch, or potentially another evildoer, if you will, that's living in this or trying to establish themselves in this region. And so the party has traveled for a few weeks now, and they have arrived at the keep, where they signed their names in. They came in and hung out and had something to eat at the tavern, and then they went to the Travelers Inn, wherein they went and got themselves a nice long restful sleep for the evening. So, without further ado, let's sort of kick this thing off. So, you guys have, as I said, you've awoken in the Travelers Inn. You sort of got settled in a little bit last night. You did talk to the tavern keep and some of the folks at the tavern. Mostly, what you saw in there were soldier types, probably guys that are part of the keep's watch team, but they were off duty, getting their drink on and eating. And in some of the discussions, you guys heard tell that humanoids are still a little rampant. They're not overly running over the place, but they are fairly prevalent in this region of the mountains. And you guys sort of took it to be that there are caves or other hideouts that are still within the region. And you guys, or the soldiers were telling you that they have no doubt in their minds that the humanoid tribes are still living in some of those caves and whatnot. And so while they periodically go out on patrols, they don't go out on patrols specifically looking for where any of these caves and stuff are. They're more along the lines of going out to protect the people that live in the region, as well as keep the keep safe. And most of the time, they head down toward the Pomars region, where the humanoids tend to be more soldier-like, trying to work their way back up this way, as opposed to those that are living in the mountains behind you guys. And so that's where the adventurers come in. So you guys find yourselves up at the crack of dawn, down to the tavern to get your morning breakfast. What's the day going to be like for us, and what do we want to do?
I am just gonna go down to the tavern and eat breakfast and wait on my party members and figure out what we're gonna do.
Okay. So it's not long after Zadkiel gets down to the tavern that Adair and Valorius both sort of come stretching their way through the door, both of them clothed as normal in their armor, although they're not carrying all of their gear. They do have their armor on, as well as weapons at their side. Adair with his holy symbol hanging about his neck as he comes to sit and have breakfast with you guys. Breakfast consists of the standard fare of meats and eggs and other such sundries, juices if you wish, ales if you wish something a little stronger, of course, all for the measly price of but a silver coin to sort of pay for that meal. So, anything specifically that we want to kind of try to plan? Anything that specifically want to do today?
Well, I would probably check to see if there's a local temple of Cuthbert in the area in the
Okay.
keep.
Okay. So, as asking, you find that there is a chapel. The chapel itself is located over by the stables where you put your horses. It is actually built along the inner bailey wall. It is really a non-denominational kind of a chapel, because there are various deities who get worshipped. Although Saint Cuthbert, you find, is a prevalent religion here within the keep itself. Particularly for the soldier types who are out there doing battle. You know, they believe in the old axioms of round corners can be beaten down, which is sort of a take of Cuthbert, of him and his cudgel beating people in the head until they get some sense into them, etc., etc. So absolutely there is a chapel, somebody that if you want to talk to about Cuthbert.
Well, if I find it, I'm gonna go there to pray to pray for guidance and protection when
Okay.
we go kill this evil.
Okay. So walking your way, and the others, oh my gosh, Valorius and Adair elect to remain there and eat as you attend to your services in the chapel. And as you're walking up the path, you can see that there are several individuals. Again, most of these folks you see are soldier types, although you do see a few more civilian types, including women and a couple of children. However, there's a rather sizable group that is leaving the chapel, apparently having been part of the sunrise service. And as you approach, you can see the curate who's standing there in plain brown robes. It looks like he has leather of some kind under his robes, although you don't know if it looks to be armor of some kind, but it's primarily leather, so it's not real thick and bulky looking. About his neck, he holds the cudgel of St. Cuthbert, and as he spies you walking up, he nods. "Welcome, brother. You have traveled far?
Yes, I have.
Please come in and rest yourself. How may I be of
Thank
service for you?"
thank you, sir. I just need a moment of peace and an area to pray.
Of course,
First,
of course. This is what we provide best here in the keep. Come, let me show you your own private prayer room. As he walks in, of course, the inner part of the chapel itself is fairly small compared to some of the chapels you've seen. It's not anything spectacular at all. Just a few benches and whatnot, providing seating for the service members, as well as a two-step raised dais for where the pulpit stands, for where the priest can sort of give his oration. However, at the back of the chapel, you find that there are several sort of curtained off areas. Although it's not a completely private room, it's a little small, maybe 5 by 5 block, like I said, with a curtain behind it. Inside, they have um, various iconography for depending upon which service or which deity you wish to pray to, including Cuthbert. There is one of Pelor. You also see some of the more like the like Wenta and Jorami and whatnot, and some of the wind gods and some of the nature farming type gods or whatever that they also subscribe to here. However, seeing as you're a man of Cuthbert, he breaks out the Cuthbert iconography to set up a small little prayer room for you. And then he sort of stands there expectantly, his hands sort of cupped in front of himself, not overtly asking you for coin, but the body language is indicative of, it would be nice if you would give a slight tithing to the church.
in due time, sir. I am a poor man as of yet, and only have the humble beginnings of a adventurer. But rest assured, I will be making donations if I survive this next task. Me and my companions are on.
Is this a charge task or something that you have undertaken yourself, my son?
You should know it's evil,
Oh,
and
there
any
is,
evil must be banished from the land.
of course, but I have no knowledge of any specific evil of which you speak. Therefore, I am unclear as to what you are seeking, as perhaps I could be of aid if I knew better what you sought.
Oh, I'm perplexed, as I am a stranger here, and I've been notified by the tavern person, bartender, who's informed me there's an evil here, and yet you're a resident and you don't know this.
Oh, we know there is the evil of the orc tribes and the goblin tribes that beset our troops and as well as our walls every so often. But if that is the
Oh,
extent of the evil for which you are seeking, then I wish you good hunting. But if there is anything further that I can do for you, please do not hesitate to call. As he
very
sort of
well, I will. But as of the evil, I'm not sure what it is, and I do not wish to speculate on that, for my speculation skills are not as keen as my bravery.
Hmm. Yes. Well then, He sort of looks at you, not sure what you meant by that or what you were trying to say, but he nods and once again reiterates, if you need anything, my son, please do not hesitate to ask. We are here to serve. And if you find this evil of which you seek, and you need to pray for guidance or pray for the wisdom on how to handle such an evil in the land, then once again, do not hesitate to come ask.
Yes, I will be praying for the protection from this evil of whence it came from. But once again, like I said, it may be the goblins you speak of or other creatures that possess evilness. But I'm only here to cleanse that evil. So, yes, if I need assistance, I will surely grab your olive branch of offerings.
Why, thank you. Or words to that effect. Or words to that effect. I like it. It's good. All right. So then, I guess. What about you, Sir Arthur?
I think it is reasonable that since, although we do have a pressing overall mission here, it is not one of immediate necessity. Like, we don't need to act in this immediate exact moment.
Right.
So I think it probably is in my best interest to kind of like get my bearings here, see what services are offered in this keep, just check out like just what resources we have at our disposal here, if we're willing to spend the coin.
Yep.
And see what information we can gather. And I think I'd probably spend the better part of the day doing that.
Okay. So the first thing that you do note and you recall is that the tavern is attached to the inn. Although they are separate dwellings or separate structures, they are connected at the hip, so to speak. You, as you sort of leave outside, you see that while the majority of the majority of the place is catered to the soldiers and whatnot, this area on the other side of the inner wall is more of a small township. There are numerous private apartments along the wall, as well as next to the inn. Right next to them, you find that there is a trader who is always willing to make deals and trades for various goods and whatnot. You learn some of the people's names. For example, you talk to the barkeep, whose name is Obanus. You talk to the some of the tavern folks who are working there to kind of get a lay of the land. And from your understanding, the evil that they talk about in general is mostly the humanoid type: orcs, goblins, hobgoblins, etc. Small raiding parties typically will attack either the soldiers as they're out on patrol, or sometimes merchants that are bringing goods and stuff up from the lowlands into the hills up here to sort of restock their supplies. Periodically they get attacked as well, but it's nothing like overtly crazy evil. Although Obanus does seem to think that the soldiers tend to talk a little bit more about how they think there's stuff going on outside the walls more than the Castellan, who is the lord of the keep. They seem to think that there's more going on out there than they know, or that he will let on. Like I said, in the trader, you find standard sort of wares, mostly some weapons as armor, shield-like things, along with some of your knick-knack kind of stuff. And the general store is more catered to like stuff that the folks in the town would need, right? Although you can get rations there and some rope and some of the other things. It seems that they tend to cater mostly for the folks that are in town. So the adventuring gear is more off the trader that you find, although there are certain things you can find at the general store. There is a smithy as you're walking by in town. There's one of the largest places here that's made of stone, is a smithy, and it's actually attached to, it's like almost like part of the wall, as that it's attached to the stables and whatnot. Um, there's a money lender, that you're able to go in and trade, obviously, goods with. He is a gnome, obviously, because they make the best bankers. But he seems to indicate that there's normally a 10% fee for changing money or coin or gems into coin, or vice versa. So if you want to give them a bunch of coin for a gem, or a gem for a bunch of coin, there's usually a 10% fee added to that. So
Yep.
so take that for whatever it's worth. And then last but not least, there's also a jeweler, and it's exactly that. He tends to make jewelry, but he also he tinkers with things like watches and stuff like that, or pocket type pieces and stuff like that, for not really like hand ones, obviously that small, but for some of the big clocks, like grandfather type clocks and stuff like that. He's sort of tinkers around with stuff like that, right? So
We're not quite at pocket watch tech yet.
no, not quite a pocket watch. It's mostly for
right.
some of the larger things, and usually those are extremely expensive. But he does seem to do fairly decent work for other types of jewelry, necklaces, bracelets, earrings, things like that, right? So
Okay.
so probably the biggest thing you get out of it is that you Obanus being the name of the bartender, or the barkeep, if you will. Meet a couple other people, some of the other soldiers, like the captain or the corporal of the watch, Barnabas. You kind of meet him as you're sort of strolling along, but yeah, nothing crazy. Anything particular that we wanted to look for?
No, that sounds like that covers like most of what I'm seeing here on the map. This guild house, what is
So that's exactly. So there are various guilds that sort of all share under one roof. For example, like the Mason Guild, you've got the Carpentry Guild, you've got stoneworkers. Did I say that? Well, Masons would be like stoneworkers. You have a small guild of the horse handlers. All the kids that do sort of the work in the stables and stuff like that, they have a little guild, and they all sort of share this place. And from what you're told, it's like every night a different group, or at least a couple times a week, different groups will have their meetings and whatnot, and kind of discuss business stuff that's going on, things that need to be done, maintain upkeep of the keep, stuff like that. They're very involved in stuff like that. So that's basically what the guild house is.
okay. Um, would our paladin have returned by this point? By the time
Oh
it's
yeah,
done?
yeah. By the time you've gone through I mean, this is probably 3/4 of the day, right? So just kind of getting the
Sure.
lay of the land. You guys sort of all congregate back at the tavern for the day, and sort of swap. Anything particular after you were praying that you wanted to do, Zadkiel? Anything that you wanted to kind of take care of, or?
No, not at this time.
Right. Okay. All right. Cool. With that in mind, as you guys sort of reach the end of the day, for as you're having your evening meal, they bring out the barkeep, not the barkeep, but the local entertainment. And there's a young lad, probably 18 or 19 years old, playing a lute and singing a song, sort of giving you guys a little bit of not the greatest entertainment you've ever heard, but at least it's entertainment nonetheless, as he begins to sing various tunes of like what's just general farming type stuff, and songs of love's lost, and songs of evil being raised up, and the great heroes throwing them down, and as he's sort of singing, he's actually eyeing you guys as if he expects you guys to be the next great heroes of the land, or whatever the case may be. But one of the things that you overhear as you guys are sort of listening to him sing and everybody's chattering around, you hear that there apparently there was not too long ago a wagon train that was coming up here, and there was a girl that was traveling with the caravan, and the caravan was besieged by orcs and goblins in a combined group, and they managed to snatch the girl and whisk her away to wherever their hidden lair was in the hills. And some feel that these caves that everybody always talks about is probably where they're all holed up, because the caves are apparently old and ancient, or an old and ancient site of where other humanoid tribes once lived way back in the day. And so apparently she was snatched away, and others are saying that's just a story. Women don't travel alone up here, and if she would have belonged to somebody, they would have said something. And of course, arguments then break out about who's right and who's wrong.
Yes,
But it is an interesting, probably the only interesting topic that you guys hear.
They might have said something if they weren't killed, you know. That's the only thing I think of. It's like, oh yeah, they belong to someone. They would have said something. Yeah, they lived.
That's true. That's true. So that's again, that's about the most interesting of all the of all the topics of conversation that you guys hear while you're enjoying your supper and dinner, as well as some of the entertainment. Any plans that we wish to make for the upcoming day? I mean, specifically, we're going to be trying to find where this evil may lie. So, based on everything that people have said, maybe it would make sense to try to figure out where these caves are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of the impression I'm getting here.
There's caves?
Apparently.
Oh, I didn't know that they told. I just heard them say that it was like east or west. What was it?
Well, no, they were just talking about it was in the hills behind the keep. There are caves and whatnot.
Okay, I wasn't sure there was caves. I thought it was just hills and like forest. Okay,
right.
I would Zadkiel would let the party know that maybe we should talk to guards. Like maybe the head guard or something. Maybe
they'll know something more.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, are goblins and orcs working together? Is that an unusual sort of thing in the world of Greyhawk?
You would have to ask these guys. I don't know.
Okay. I'll casually inquire that during the course of the discourse. You know, is that so unusual in these parts? Goblins and orcs working together?
So one of the soldier guys sort of looks up, and he sort of looks at his buddy and he says, "Have you ever seen water and oil put together, mate?"
Yeah, they don't mix.
Not too well, they don't.
That was the wrong place.
Orcs tend to be a little bullish on top of the goblins and whatnot. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, thanks for the follow, bro.
I would imagine they would, perhaps they were taking goblin slaves and forcing them to do their work for them? Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Who knows?
It's possible, I suppose.
Who knows? And do you know where this attack was supposed to have happened?
Oh, it's probably down King's Road ways. If you follow east, the road sort of winds northeast up into the hills. Eventually, it just sort of dead ends into an old series of switchback trails up there. But before that, there's some trails that lead off into the hills and all kinds of caves and whatnot you can find up that way. Usually, don't like to go up that route because it's bad if you're a group of fellas, a large group of fellas. It just sort of funnels you right through into the different passes, you know, and it makes one's sort of easily take over, if you will. Hard to get the high ground.
Thank you, good sir. That makes a lot of sense. In my travels on my pilgrimage to the city of Greyhawk, I noticed that Evil and caves have a common denominator.
Aye, that's probably true. But yeah, if you're looking to root out some of the tribes, they're mostly harmless for the most part. But there's caves and whatnot up there, probably just past the old watchtower.
What do you think? Do you think this is worth our time to look into? This is the last place we went to, it was a dark evil cult that was had some bandits living upstairs. So I mean, this could be connected. Who knows? I'm talking to Monkey. Monkey's character is there. I can't pronounce that.
Good sir, Arthur, forgive me, but my ears are scrambled as I did not understand a word you said. If you must forgive me, sir, it must be your accent.
Yes, it must. So, Zadkiel, I was thinking perhaps we should investigate this alliance between the goblins and the orcs. It sounds similar to what we saw in Omelette.
Yes, I believe the evil might be within those two of the races in which you speak, in which you suggest to investigate.
Perhaps in the morning we should go and see if we can find where they're making camp. Just take a look around,
Yes, very wise. My guess is somewhere near the caves.
That would be my guess as well, yes.
Okay.
So then, let us get our gear that we need and ask the rest of the party to gear up as we make our way in the morning when the sun rises. And hopefully, St. Cuthbert will protect us, as I've been praying for him to protect us to this journey.
Oh, then surely he will listen to you.
Very
That
good.
is the key of the praying, good sir.
Valorius, are you are experienced in tracking humanoids, no?
I haven't been too bad, I suppose. Yeah, I mean that's what I grew up in the woods in the gnarly and stuff. So yes, I have a little bit of experience in tracking animals of various sizes.
Well, I imagine your skills are going to be the ones we are relying on most tomorrow. Get some sleep.
Okay. And so, you guys go grab yourself another nice long rest as the night passes and you find yourselves up once again at the crack of dawn. Gear in hand, ready to depart. What's the plan? Where are we headed?
Will we be taking the horses?
I think we should.
Makes sense. Get a little bit travel a little bit easier.
Yes, and if Valorius needs to stop to do ranger things, he can dismount, examine the area, that sort of thing. We can remount, we can move, and if we are attacked by people on foot, we have an easy way of escape.
This is true.
This
You
is
hope.
true.
Assuming the horse, yes, well, relies on the horses surviving. But still, if they attack our horses and not us, this is a benefit for us, no?
Yep.
Anyway,
Okay.
I would
I think we.
think the creatures might attack our horses to prevent us from escaping.
Yes,
That's
well,
what evil likes to do sometimes. And these creatures, I think I've had experience fighting these orcish things and these goblins.
we will see what happens if it comes to us. It is quite a waste of them for kill such a useful creature instead of just killing us. But it is not the point. Let us go to the east, see if we can find any evidence of a caravan that may have been attacked, or any trails that look like they were left by things that were not human.
Okay.
And see maybe if we can find these caves, perhaps. Who knows?
Okay. So, you guys exit the keep, once again heading south as this switchback trail leads from the high plateau upon which the keep sits. It travels south for perhaps a half a mile or so, not quite a half a mile, when it hits the main road that runs along the base of the mountains running to the southwest and to the northeast. And as you slowly work your way along the along the mountains, if you will, because the way the trail goes is it sort of follows along the base of all the largest hills and whatnot. The forests themselves sort of mostly fall off away to the south and east, although there are some scrubs of trees and hills and whatnot along the left-hand trail as you guys work your way further along the woods. Eventually, you can actually see what the guards originally talked about 2 to 3 miles to the east, maybe a little more than that, but still 2 to 3 miles to the east. You can see this sort of a clearing through the trees, right? So in the distance, sort of on a hill, you can see this rather old tower, and the tower itself sort of raises up probably 15, 20 feet, although the top of it, from your vantage point, you can actually see is partially collapsed. So it's more than likely something that was used in the past to sort of overlook the area, because it is sitting up on a raised hill in a clearing around the trees and whatnot. But again, it's looks to be more defunct now. The road you're on kind of continues, and as it turns more northwardly, the forest itself begins to sort of close in on the trail from both sides. So from down out of the mountains, the woods sort of thicken up, and as it's moving to the south, it thickens up as well. So you can see that the trail that you're on, eventually you'll be within the canopy of trees as you move your way deeper into the woods in that direction. Anything paused as we go, or do we want to keep going?
What do you think, Zadkiel?
I don't think Zadkiel's listening. I think Zadkiel's asleep.
It is possible.
Yes, we should move forward.
Okay.
This is going to be a long game with a single player driving the story, but that's okay. We'll do what we can.
No, my mic was muted. Sorry.
No, we're good. I'm just messing with you, man. It's because I know you're tired. So it's gonna be a long night for Zadkiel. Zadkiel's gonna I'm gonna bet odds there's gonna be a lot of natural ones rolled by Zadkiel just because he's so damn tired. Which brings me, before I forget, to the rest of you out in chat, if you have not already seen, as a reminder. As you earn your Parentland gross marks, or your coins for watching the stream, you can trade those in for natural ones and natural 20s for the party. That allows them the ability to replace any roll throughout the game with a nat 1 or a nat 20. And of course, it doesn't have to be for the player. You can always give it to the DM. The DM's always appreciative of that. But that being said, if you guys want to, you can very well do that. Also, what else was I going to say? Oh, also, don't forget, if you have not entered our raffle for tonight, the opportunity to pick next week's or next session's random encounter. We have a pretty good one coming up for our 5e stream. I've been discussing that with the winner to see what's going to happen next with that party. But we haven't had too many people entering our raffle here the past couple sessions. So so if you guys want to enter the raffle, exclamation point random, I'll get with you. You tell me what you want to throw at the party, and then the next session you can come back and see what happens when I actually meet that encounter. So you guys continue to sort of move along, and I'm going to do a couple of checks here for our ranger as he periodically dismounts and goes out to sort of check the trails. And the first time he goes out, and he actually sort of comes back after like 5 or 10 minutes as he disappears off to the northwest into the woods, and he sort of comes back, and he just lets everybody know there is a creature of some kind that lives in that abandoned tower if we want to investigate it. However, I also did note that there was a large trail of humanoid footprints leading from this road, not on the road itself, but I found in the woods themselves, and they generally follow the road although they're not on the road. So I think we're heading in the right direction of where the humanoids may have gone. Now, that being said, this could be just the trail that they were on or the trail they were following as they went hunting, or whatever. So we may be completely past wherever they are.
A popular trail also.
Yeah. So they could either be behind us and we're just going the way they did go at one point, or he actually believes no, more than likely we're heading in the direction to where these creatures may live. And so that's, he says, so we have our choices. Do we want to check out the abandoned tower? Do we want to keep going to see if we can't find where these humanoids live?
Do you have any inkling as to what kind of creature might be living in the tower, or is it just?
No, it's a four-legged furry type, though. That's for sure. It looks like a large cat of some kind.
You mentioned large feet.
Yeah, a large feet. Yes, a large cat. But also humanoids, bipedal humanoids. Probably they look to be the size of the creatures we're hunting, the orcs and the goblins and whatnot. So they're bipedal, but they're not human. So because they're running barefoot, and he can tell obviously that they aren't human, but they are bipedal humanoid. So orcs, goblins, hobgoblins, and the like. But his experience doesn't tell him which are which.
I'm not too terribly keen on looking for a fight with a four-legged furry creature while you're trying to hunt down these humanoids. What do you think, Zadkiel?
Okay.
What do you think, Zadkiel?
Well, that depends. If this creature is of the abomination type, we should probably investigate the tower.
Is the tower is the tower close by, or is it?
So, as I said, as you guys were going, it was probably about a half a mile into the woods up on a hill.
Gotcha.
But his indication is it didn't look any different than any other large normal cat, like a mountain lion or a panther or cougar or whatever you want to call them. That's the size of large cat that he was talking about. So in his estimation, it probably was not of the abomination type, but you never do know.
If we spend our time trying to hunt down every single large cat in the woods, we'll be here for the rest of our lives.
This is true. So you just want to continue on?
Well, Ranger, what says you?
Who?
The Ranger. What says you, sir?
The Ranger is going to have to defer to your expertise because the Ranger is the DM tonight. Therefore, the DM doesn't know. The Ranger does believe, though, that as a Ranger, I would say, no, unless we have reason to believe otherwise, leave the nature creatures alone and let's go for the orcs and the other creatures that we are seeking out.
I tend to agree with this statement. I'm not opposed to checking out the tower if that is what you want to do, Zadkiel, but I'm not interested in going there looking for a fight. Unless, of course,
only here to cleanse the evil.
Then let us head towards the where we believe the humanoids might be camping.
Yes, the priest in the temple told me that evil might be over where the caves are, or was that the bartender?
The soldiers and whatnot were talking about the caves and stuff.
Yes, so we should probably head to the caves.
Cool.
That is where the greatest evil is, and perhaps we can squish the head of the evilness.
Awesome.
Is that where you believe these tracks are leading us, Valorius?
Yes. Well, I don't know if that's where they're leading us, but they're heading in the direction that they say the caves are. So they're heading up into the mountains and stuff. So
let's just follow the tracks until we find something of interest.
Yep. Hey, that's pretty awesome, man. So 10, 8, and 6-year-olds. I can imagine the 6-year-old playing. I can't see someone that young like knowing what they're doing, but just having a blast doing it. Because obviously the younger are going to follow the older. I do have to say that the last time that I played this adventure was in like when I first started playing, That was 1980, 81, somewhere in there. So that's the last time I actually played this. Although I've sort of tinkered around in a couple of games once in a while where they were talking about going in there, and we discussed it, but we never actually went and played the adventure itself. So, yep. So anyway, cool. Hey man, what's up? Lord Gazumba has graced us with his presence. Everybody be on their best behavior. Everybody be nice. Jay is in the house. So now we got to actually pretend like we know what we're doing. Damn it. Because everybody knows I don't know what I'm doing. Zadkiel, what, sir? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Zadkiel is going to suggest that we travel, since this is a very active road, he's going to suggest to well, it appears to be active, he's going to suggest to the rest of the party that we travel, like, not right on the road, perhaps on the side by along the brush.
Okay.
If there is any brush.
Oh, there is. There's like, you figure how mountain woods are, right? So it's mostly the higher leaf trees and stuff, but you do get some of the underbrush and the heavy fern layer of fern needles and stuff like that. But there are bushes and shrubs and whatnot. Fortunately, it's not so thick that you can't lead your horses through it either, so it's really not too bad. And as Asher the Bear just mentioned, everybody pretend that you don't know anything about 5e. That 5e is the worst, because otherwise we'll make Jay mad and then he'll leave. So we don't want Jay to leave because Jay's the 1e guy. So shh. We're gonna cater to the king. He is the Lord. So anyway. So if you guys want to do that, I don't think that's that big of a deal if you wanted to sort of stay off the trail. Hey, thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate it. One step closer to the promised land. We're almost at 100. We're like this close. I think I need to get Lord Kazumba out there with his tambourine and stuff and start clapping and trapping and bringing people in. So he's gonna be my barker. He's gonna be staying out there. Or he could send me his herald. What's Tim's name? What's the guy that he plays? Lord, or what his name? I just watched his promo video, man. I can't remember. It's right on the tip of my tongue, but it doesn't want to come out. So anyway, get back to my game. Stop talking about his game. Thank you, Duncan Josley the Commulant. Thank you very much. That's it. We're going to get Duncan out there calling people and pulling them into the game. So, so you guys continue, as I said, to sort of move along this forest road. And at the urgence of Zadkiel, you sort of move off the beaten path and just sort of follow these tracks that the Ranger Valorius has managed to find, leading you a little more off the road the further east that you go. So as you go, the road begins to turn a little bit northerly, following the mountains as it sort of heads back up towards Celine and along the border of the Sus, as well as the Lort Mills and whatnot. Let me do a couple other. I'm going to do one more check for him and just to kind of see. You guys go maybe another, I don't know, mile maybe, and he sort of stops and he's looking around and he's like, I've lost the trail. As you guys are now in the woods somewhere. You can't see the road, but you know you're not that far off of the road. But like I said, as the road was turning north, you guys are turning more northerly, even more so. And so the road itself, you figure, is a ways off to your right toward the south. But you can't see the road from there, nor can you see any clearings, and you're sort of standing in the middle of the woods.
Well, at least we do have a direction that, more or less to travel, an idea of where we were going. I'm sure we could pick it back up again. Let us, Zadkiel, do you want to go back to the road, or do you want to continue to travel through the woods in this general direction?
Is there anybody in the party, good sir, that could possibly see in the dark?
No. Valorius cannot see in the dark. I think everybody's human, aren't they?
I think Lathor is not a human, but I don't know if he's with us.
Oh yes, Lathor's yeah. So that's the other. I forgot that we had Lathor too. Lathor is a halfling, so Lathor is with you, and Lathor can see in the dark. He does have infravision.
Interesting. But,
although it's not really dark out, it's still fairly early. You guys have only been out for like maybe 3 hours or so it's not even lunchtime yet.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. It's just like we still got plenty of time before nightfall. I don't understand why, but I figured at least you know.
Well, I mean, as you're getting into the hills and into the woods and stuff, it does get a little darker and shadowy, but really not to the point you can't see.
This is an enigma on how to figure out where these trails have gone.
Yes, well, I mean, we have lost the trail. I mean, but we could just continue to head in the same general direction. Perhaps we can find this area that these cliffs are supposed not cliffs, caves are supposed to be.
Okay.
Perhaps. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I gotta open up my character sheet real quick. Perhaps I could detect evil and see if the evil is close enough to create a trail of evilness to lead us out of this area.
Okay. Go ahead and do your detect thing. That's how many times a day you can do that?
I think you can do it at will.
Is it at will?
Yeah.
Is that one at will? Okay. Sweet.
I believe so.
So
It goes only 60 feet though.
yeah.
Or
So
60.
you begin to you guys watch as Zadkiel's standing there, and he sort of lets the senses of the woods surround him, and you feel the energy sort of flow out from you in various directions. After a minute or so, you sort of stop and blink your eyes open, and nothing. You find nothing.
I'm sorry to say, good sirs, we are lost.
I don't know about that, says Valorius,
We know what that road is.
as he looks down, and he says, I think this may be where they went. And he points on the ground, and you can see dirt, grass, shrubbery. No idea what the hell he's talking about, but he sees something, and he leads you guys further into the woods. And the further you go, the twisty, the turny, going around trees, the trees themselves begin to get knotted and less well kept, if you will. As it gets further from the road, the wild lands, if you will, begin to take over. Probably about another 45 minutes or so, you guys find yourselves on what looks to be some kind of a ravine. And as you look, you see the sweeping hills going up to the right and to the left. The ravine itself goes extremely far. And as you sort of peer through all the trees, you can see that the ravine itself goes up sharply left and right, and it forms like a horseshoe at the far end, right? So it sort of encloses at the far end. And like I said, you can see that the ravine is very sharp. You can see maybe one or two small trails sort of winding up to the next level, but it looks like there's almost like 3 levels of caves dotting the landscape. And as you sort of stand there and look at this whole open area, you feel a chill sort of come over you as you realize that this is probably the caves of which they spoke, these caves of chaos, where evil creatures are said to hide, where evil itself is probably building a new foothold in the mountains here, bordering the keep and bordering the southeastern edge of the Ulek states. Kind of glancing over. You guys got to decide what you want to do.
I look back at my party and I just say, "Good sirs, I think we have reached our destination." And I start detecting evil again.
Okay. From your vantage point, you can detect no evil. However, you guys can see that this whole, the entire area is just covered in thick shrubs, trees, and like I said, there's basically like 3 levels of caves. You can see that there are maybe 3 or 4 along the ground floor level, if you will, and then about halfway up, or not quite halfway up, you can see there's like some ledges that sort of run along the top of the hill, and you can see there's some other cave openings dotted there, and then a little farther up than that, you can see once again, yes, in the Order of Ulek. You can see, I'm sure they would have a field day with this one. As you can see along the top of the ridges and stuff, the upper caves themselves. There are a lot of caves with which to sort of start, if you will. And so I'm just going to sort of need, what do you guys feel as far as where do you want to start?
Are there caves up here as well, or are they mostly on this level down here?
So let me see if I can't. I want to look and see if I actually have a better map to kind of that I can look at, but I don't want you guys to look at it. So give me just a second.
I'll close my eyes. I won't look.
Yeah, whatever.
I'll just clarify that my initial instinct is to find the topmost location and work my way down from there.
Yep. So I am going to somewhere in here. I can freehand draw stuff, and I want to make what color would be good? I think red would be good, don't you think? And I'm going to do that.
I mean, it'll definitely be effective at.
Yep. So I am going to. So I'm going to do at the different levels, right? So we have. That's not big enough.
I mean, I can see.
Okay, there's a cave entrance.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a cave entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a cave entrance. Here's a cave entrance. Now that's the first level.
Okay. Red is first.
Yep. And then we have. Is there one up that high? I think there might be only 2 levels. I thought no, there's 3. Is that right?
I see one right here.
Yeah. So I got it. Yeah, I'm just trying to look and see. All right, so this is
caves.
Yep. So there's an upper level one there. Damn it.
Oh, looks like a pickle.
My fault. Let me try this again. The problem is that I'm trying to move the map, but I can't move the map when I've got. See, it's like, okay. I think I got this now. Let me close this.
You want me to mark it?
Nah, I got it. Yeah, too late. He's already marking it. Nope.
That was me. Sorry.
No, you're fine. All right, so let's go back again. Here's one. Here's one. I want to make sure that they're on the first level. Okay, so there's the first level ones,
and
then the second level one is one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, and then there is a third level one. That is up here. I think I missed the second level one. Hang on a second. There's
one between the blue and the yellow.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So those are the different caves. Nope. There's only the one up there on the third level there.
Okay.
Yep. So the first ones are the elevation is like if you consider it at 0, right? But when you go up to the second level, that's probably about another 25, 30 feet up there. And 1, 2. Actually, there's 4 levels. My bad. This one that's up. What the hell? Wow, that was crazy. I was just looking at my map and all of a sudden it kicked me out of So I am going to change the color for one of the maps. I'm going to make it sort of a light blue. This one right here. Right there where the light blue is.
It's like level 2.5.
Yeah, that's basically level 2.5. So basically, you've got these all sort of along the base, and then you've got the second level is probably about 25 feet up the slope, 25 to 30 feet, somewhere in there. And then higher up is this one toward the back, and then the highest one is up here, sort of at the top of the hill, right? So there are numerous caves everywhere that you guys can see. Although as of right now, you guys don't see any other creatures or anything like that. So,
Do we see any like campfires going on, or smell any fire? Or
no, you don't. You don't smell anything. However, you can see that on the very first cave to your left, just to the outside of it, it looks like there's some sort of remains of some kind of a fire pit of some kind.
Out of curiosity, would my character know if orcs have like a sensitivity to daylight or that sort of thing?
Not necessarily. Unless you've traveled with orcs or you've studied orcs, whatever, you wouldn't know if they had any kind of light sensitivity or not. No.
Okay.
You could ask Ukla. Oh wait.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Ukla would know.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was like, because you know how like we have like fairy tales and like legends about
Yeah.
like trolls, even though they don't exist in our world. If
Yeah.
orcs had a reputation in this world for attacking at night, or if
No.
they had a reputation.
Most humanoid creatures tend to be nocturnal in nature, right?
Okay.
They prefer to
Okay.
be out and about at night.
Yeah, so if we are lucky, anything that might be inhabiting these caves might be sleeping. Who knows? I think we should quietly work our way to the top and just sort of see what there is to see. Poke our head around a little bit.
We have
Although,
to be careful.
yes, of course.
Dragons in those caves.
Any number of things could be in those caves. That is why I'm suggesting we go and, scout them. Although if they were dragons, I think that there would be many more signs of, such a creature living in this area.
Yeah.
Now, should we find a good place to hide our horses, perhaps? And by the way, DM, just so I don't get caught off guard, I'm curious. I don't know how far we've traveled, but suffice it to say that if I had to walk that way, and I had to leave in, say, like 2 hours, would I make it back to the keep before nightfall, or would I
No.
be trapped out?
You'd be
Okay.
outside, yeah.
So the horses would definitely need, if they get taken, then we're going to be outside. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, more than
All right.
likely, yeah.
So we need to find a good place to hide these if we are not interested in bringing them inside.
Well,
And I wouldn't recommend bringing horses
I
onto the
don't know
hard
if you
cave
know
ground.
about horses, but in my experiences,
Yes. Go
these
on.
horses will be a problem if we tie them up. They will not stay there forever unless we have somebody tending to them.
Well, of course not. But
So if you're suggesting that we leave the animals by themselves, we might as well just let them run.
I am not so sure because I am only suggesting we leave them there for a couple of hours. Put the feed bag over the mouth so they have some food to eat while we go and just poke our head around inside the caves. And if we find we have eaten off too more than we can chew, we have a quick way to escape. Now, of course, if you are concerned that the horses will not survive if we leave them alone for a couple of hours, then we could go back to the keep and walk the way here, set up a camp in between in the halfway point perhaps, and come back in the morning, or we could bring our horses to a safer place. I'm not too terribly interested in releasing them. They are very useful creatures and expensive too.
Well, I agree. But the horses will. Well, may. Never mind.
It is a risk. I do not get me wrong. I
I
understand.
would just not leave
And-
anything that you wish to lose on these horses, is all I'm saying.
Oh, certainly not. Certainly not. I am not planning on leaving my spell book with them or anything like that. No. Simply just putting them somewhere, hopefully out of sight, where we will be able to find them again,
Well,
so that
yes.
a small passing group might not discover them.
Well, then I agree then.
All right. So then you're down to just find a place to put the horses while we check out the caves on foot.
Oh yeah, I'm okay
Cool.
with that for sure.
Okay. So, you guys managed to backtrack for a short ways, find a relatively hidden spot with which to secure your horses, either tying them up and providing them feed or allowing them to graze openly, whichever it may be. And you sneak your way back to the area where once again you gaze upon this sharp ravine dotted with various cave openings. Where do we want to go first?
I think we should make our way to the topmost cave and work our way down from there. Your thoughts?
I was thinking the same. It's like if they're all attached, it would be like hunting groundhogs, flushing them out.
I've
But
never
if they
done
are individual caves, then
I wish
Sure.
there was a way to put letters on here.
To just like type directly.
Yeah, to
onto
be able
it.
to type so I could like put letters up there on what the
Yeah.
but there's not. All you can do is freehand draw. It's
yeah,
like,
you can do that. Oh wait, no.
you can't.
Yeah.
So, okay, one last thing that I'm going to do. So I'm going to clear all this. And let's get the red ones again. Sorry. And I am going to go. I'm just going to see if I can't do this. Can you read that?
Is that a D?
Yes.
Yep, I can read it.
All right. I like it. E.
This alphabet starts in an interesting place.
Oops. Yeah, hang on. I gotta move. Trying to see that I. Oh, that's wrong. Damn it. I'm not gonna even worry about it. Just you guys are gonna have to double click. I'll update the map next time. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna reload it up, and it's gonna have whatever the letters are. But right now, I'm not gonna try to freehand it because we'll be here all night, and I got it wrong, and I'd have to start over because you can't just. Yeah. So now stop. So let's just go ahead and you just double click on which one you want to go to first. Gonna go all the way up there. All right.
All the way to the top. Work our way
All
down.
right. So in order to sort of get that way up the trail, I am going to look and see because it's got sort of a switchback thingy on here that I looked at the last time I looked at it. So I just have to. Unfortunately, the map that I have of the caves doesn't have that particular component that's on it. So I wanted to look and see. Just to make sure. All right. Yep. So it's a sharp incline as you guys slowly move your way up the embankment. No sooner than you guys get to right here, then you hear sort of this yip, 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 and charging out of the trees behind you, a small group of dog-looking creatures that you recognize as kobolds come charging down the hill, attacking your party. I need everybody to tell me what they want to do. First of all, since Arthur is here, and we always start with the A's, I am going to...
Okay.
Hang on. Where did my... Did I close it? Or did I not? Okay. I'm just going to redo this. I thought that I had. I must have closed it. All right, I am going to need a die 6 roll to check for surprise.
Okay, 1 die 6, and I want to roll high. Is that the number?
Yeah. Oh no! As
Is everybody surprised?
Everybody is surprised as you guys, as you're moving up, you surprise the kobolds as they see you, and then you immediately see them. And now let's go ahead and what are we going to do? Let's give me.
Just share a full minute of looking at each other,
Yep.
seeing what's going to
It's
happen
like,
here.
hey, what's going on? All right.
Do we know what they are?
Yeah, you recognize them as kobolds. I just need to know. All right, so we're going to go with the... why does it not have my party here? There we are. Let me copy this over to my notes. And start off 8-air. 8-air is going to just take his mace to these creatures, and I'll actually put the creatures on the map for you guys.
Thank you.
Just because that's how I roll.
So they said yip. Okay.
Yeah, they're kind of they're sort of dog-like lizard type creatures, and I forget how many it said. I think it said there was 20 of them.
Holy
Just kidding. Just kidding. It's like holy crap.
Does anybody in the party speak kobold?
No.
Oh, all I speak is.
Stop it. Okay. Yeah. So I want to.
I think that's Noel, isn't it?
Yeah. Whatever. 2,
Come on, man. I love that.
4. That was troglodytes, by the way.
Oh, okay. Troglodytes. I like that.
Do you speak Froglodyte?
No, I do not.
Yep. Actually, I put them on the wrong side, but that's okay. They're actually all over here on the other side as they come. You guys came through the trees and they come charging down out of the hills after you.
After being surprised for about a solid minute.
Yes, as everybody was surprised as you whoop. So we'll just treat it as our normal actions. All right, so let's get back to combat here. So 8-air is going to draw his mace as he begins to get ready for combat. What about you, Arthur?
I'm going to probably try to cast Sleep on this group.
Okay. So, and Jeremiah?
We'll say attack with hand axes.
All of them?
Actually, I did say I wanted to take crossbows from the crossbow pile and that thing.
Yep.
Yeah, well, so if they can attack with their crossbows, that'd be dope.
Okay. Crossbows are fine. And we're going to give them how many bolts are they going to have total?
I probably took 20 each for the pile of like 300 that we found,
Yeah.
and then just gave the rest to the town.
Yeah.
Because that sounds fair.
Yep. It's fine. Lathor is going to try to sneak around and gain his sneak attack or his thieves damage with his sword.
Might want to zoom into the.
Yeah, I will as soon as I get it set up. What about Stefan? He's doing a crossbow as well?
Yeah, all of them.
Yep. And Valorius is going to use his sword. Zadkiel.
No, he's going to take out a sword and shield and
All right.
prepare for combat.
All right. So this is why I hate having to run like more than one character because I ended up getting lost on where everything's at. Okay, let's move this over so everybody can see. Hey, there we are as the kobolds come charging down out of the woods. All right, so now that we are sort of semi on track on where we want to be, let's go ahead and since we tied Arthur, now we're going to actually roll for actual initiative.
1d6 coming right up.
I rolled a 3. You rolled a 6. You suck.
Huh.
Whatever. All right. So as 8-air, he let's see how far. Yeah, they're too far, so he's just going to move up 10 feet and wait for them. So actually, you know what? He's going to charge up into combat, and then he will go ahead and attack, even though he knows that they get a bonus to attack him. There's a 9 as he misses. I almost treated that like a 5e game. I was like, wow. Okay, so the Kobold armor class, just so we don't forget, their armor class is 7. So that means 8 air needs a 13 or better to hit them after all his various effects and bonuses and stuff whatnot. So, but he rushes up and he misses, and I hate quiet. I don't want quiet. There it is. There we go. All right. Let's get that out so I don't close it. Okay, Arthur.
I'm going to center my sleep spell just dead in the center of these guys and hit as many as I can.
Okay.
It's 3-inch diameter, so 30 feet.
30 feet diameter?
30 feet diameter. Can I hit all of them? Because I think I can.
Yep. Yeah, you can. Yep. So if you get it like right here, right there.
Yeah.
So if we go, it would just be, it would just be out of range of, trying to think, so you don't hit Aylar.
Yeah, if I have to leave a kobold alive or awake so that I don't
Nope.
hit
If you center on that purple one right there,
yeah,
that would take care of. Yep. The one I'm highlighting.
Yeah. I just checked over on Twitch. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I put it right there.
Yep.
All right. Then we'll do that. How many hit dice do they have?
They are like a half hit die creature.
Oh, so it's anywhere from 4 to 16, so 44?
Yep.
All right. Here it comes. 8 of them.
8 of them.
All but 1.
Actually, all of them, because there's only supposed to be 8.
Okay.
Yep. So as all of them collapse into sleep, I wonder if I can... They're all asleep. What do we want to do? We want to leave them there? You guys watch as all the kobolds come rushing down, sort of yip, 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 yip. And Adair rushes up there and swings his mace at the first one. It sort of bounces off its shield as it sort of grins back. And the next thing you know, you see all of them just collapse to the ground as the spell that cast by Arthur takes effect, dropping all 8 kobolds where they stand.
I'll kind of look at Zadkiel and say, they are, I do not know what your moral feelings about killing sleeping foes are, but,
they are evil, and we must cleanse them.
Very well.
And liberate their souls to the light.
Very well.
If that's how that works, I suppose you guys help him out. I'll gesture to my henchman.
Then Cuthbert goes over there and starts hitting each one of them.
Thwack. Right in the head.
Okay.
And he says a prayer as he hits them.
I bring your soul into the light.
And he says, to the light I command you. To the light I command you.
Now, just so everyone is aware, I only had one of those, so if we get attacked by another group, it's going to be some actual fight.
That's the whole reason that I gave it to you this time. Making sure that I don't accidentally delete Latham. Or Laneth, I mean.
For the record, if it matters to you, DM, the only other spells I have are Detect Magic and Web Prepared for the day, so just in case you need me to specify.
Okay, cool. All right. So, as quickly as they come running down the hill, just as quickly, they are gone. Yeah, I got you, Doc. Yep. So...
I'd like to kind of just... it doesn't look like they're wearing much, and I'm not expecting to find a bunch of riches on them, but if they had any healing potions or any indications as to, like, any symbols as to, like, some deity they worshipped or followed, or stuff they'd stolen from people in the keep, if I see anything like that, I'll take a closer look.
All right, so you don't find anything like that.
Yeah.
You do see that they have painted red markings, sort of like striped on their face, almost like a war paint. But they did have a total of 8 silver pieces on them.
Neat. Okay.
Okay.
1 silver piece per kobold.
Yes. Where to now? We're heading our way up to the top of the hill.
I think the plan remains unchanged. Yes.
Okay.
Or, with all that yipping, do you think perhaps anything else that might be in these caves might be alerted? We should probably try to be a little bit more quiet moving forward. I don't know if there's like a different. Yeah.
So this is the one you're going to all the way up here, right? All the way up at the top of the hill.
I can't see where you're pinging, but yes, at the very top of the hill.
Yep. I'm going to move you guys there just so you can get there.
Awesome.
As you guys slowly move your way up the hill, it doesn't appear as if anything does not appear as if anything noticed you guys coming up the hill. As you arrive, sort of looking into this large dot with it's like pitch black. It's from the outside looking in. It's very difficult to see what's actually there. You can right here. It's kind of weird because even though this is a cave, a natural occurring hole in the ground, this cave opening looks to be partially stoneworked. As if someone actually came in and sort of wanted to make it better than an actual naturally occurring cave. You can see that the cave itself goes in for about 15 or so feet before there's a tunnel boring into the center of the into the hill itself. So the first part of it is like a natural cave, and then the outside looks to be partially stoneworked, as if someone, like I said, was trying to make it more, I don't know, normal, if you will. But there's a worked tunnel leading into the hillside itself, and from here you can actually hear some kind of noises and sounds coming from deep within. Like voices in a language you do not understand.
Did it sound like what those kobolds were speaking, or okay?
No, this is distinctly more guttural, and the
boy.
more you listen to it, the more it brings back flashes of what you guys heard in the moat house ruins.
Mm-hmm. With your infravision, do you see anything down the tunnel, Lathor?
Lathor kind of looks in and he says yes. He can see that there are large creatures in a room just past the main entry tunnel, or the main entry cave. So there's like an entry cave, and then, like I said, there's a worked stone tunnel leading in, and in that direction it opens up into a room of some kind, and there are large creatures. He goes, they look like gnolls from where he is at.
I'm gonna look to hold on, name. There it is, Zadkiel. We'll look to Zadkiel and just kind of like gesture, like, you ready?
I am Zedkill the Righteous. I am always ready.
Okay.
All right.
Give me
He kind of leads them.
Yeah.
I
suppose I should light a torch for the group. So I think I would like to do that.
Okay. So you light your torch, and you begin to move into the cavern.
Well, before I actually lead the group in, I'm gonna pause and detect evil inside the straight path of the cave?
No, you don't detect anything.
I do not detect any evil. Perhaps these are not the caves in which they spoke of. I've yet to detect any evil.
Perhaps you just need to get further in.
Maybe you're right. Saint Cuthbert, grant me the power to do this and achieve what I need to achieve for you in your name.
So, you light a torch. And as soon as you light a torch, suddenly you hear cries out of warnings of some kind as they begin yelling. And you immediately spot there are 4 gnolls immediately in here. I need, since you guys are not surprised, but I need you to roll me a die 6 in order to, well, actually, I'm going to roll a die 6 to see if they're surprised by you. And since you won last time, I will, as soon as I roll for my surprise. Yep, they are not surprised because you lit a torch and let them know you were coming, which I very much appreciated.
Well, we had to see ourselves, so.
Yes. And we're going to do the pirate music for our combat today.
All right.
All right, I need you to roll initiative, please, sir.
All right. Do we declare actions for? Okay.
Oh, I take it back. Yes, you're right. Declare actions. Well, it's just tied. That's fine. We're not going to roll again, and we're going to declare actions first. Thank you.
Cool.
You watch as 2 of the gnolls grab bows while the other 2 have huge morning stars in their hands, ready to come take care of business.
I think I would like to have. I can't tell for sure if this is 10 feet, but if I can have my hirelings move to here with with 10 foot of movement, if possible, and unleash, just shoot some crossbows at these guys, and that's ideal.
Okay.
As for myself, I'm going to hold off on casting any spells and just kind of provide light by,
Yep. Gotcha. I am going to. All right. So that is yours. So your guys are once again doing crossbows. You're just providing light. Adair is once again with his mace. Valorius with his sword. Zadkiel, action please.
I am going to charge at one of the bowmen, the one that's closest to us.
Okay. So the one that's closest to you would be like this guy right here, gnoll number 4. So that's 2, 4. This is 1. I'm going to put them in order. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the 2 bowmen are actually in the rear. So in order to get to them, you would have to go past the first 2.
Okay, I will charge the first one then.
All right. Yeah. So there's 1, 2.
The one in front.
Yeah. In order there. 1, 2 is in the middle, 3 is in the bottom left, and 4 is in the back. So.
Okay.
Cool. Everybody got it? All right. I just want to really quick. It didn't have. It's weird. I thought they had it on the sheet here, but. Didn't seem like a cutout to me, but who knows? My internet's been wonky, so who knows?
Oh, there you go. You're back.
Hey, well, I don't know what happened. Am I okay now?
Yes.
It looks
That's
like the
right.
stream's playing now, so I think
Yeah,
you're good.
I don't. I'm looking. Didn't show my stream to stop any time. It didn't say it cut off or anything like that.
Yeah, I had the face with the guy with his head in his hands and the little video thing just
What?
blinking on the bottom. Yeah. I don't know what happened.
Sorry, folks. I do believe that I have pissed off the gods because I said something about 5e and Lord Kasumba doesn't like it. Therefore, he has zoinked my internet. But that's okay. It's all right. We're back to 1e. We're back to 1e. So, as I said, these guys have morning stars. And I need Arthur to please roll me initiative.
I did. I rolled a 5.
I don't see it. It didn't go up in my thing. So you rolled a 5. Okay. I don't see it.
I'll refresh.
No, I don't see it at all.
Okay. Do you want me to roll again then?
No, I trust you. I trust you. So you guys have the initiative. So we will go with Adair first. Adair is going to charge into this guy in the front, he'll get his attack bonus, knowing that they will be able to attack back at a bonus, but he doesn't care.
Yeah, I would log back into Astro there, so you roll back up there.
Yeah, I refreshed and it still says it's there, so that's the thing I'm confused
That's
about.
weird.
Yeah.
Maybe
Might be
you
on
see it.
Sean's end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think.
see it.
Yeah, I'll say I don't. So obviously my internet was the one that went, so I have no idea. But he rolled an 18 as he hits the knoll. I forgot what his mace does. Is it 2 to 7? Mace, I think, is 2 to 7. Footman's mace, 2 to 7. Oh, shoot, no. Gnolls are large creatures, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah. Size large, 7+ feet tall. Therefore, it is only 1 to 6 damage that he does.
Womp.
Yep, that's fine. 1 to 6. Does he get any bonuses? This is why I hate playing other people's characters. No bonuses. Oh, he does 1 whopping hit point of damage to the gnoll. I need to double check on their hit points just to make sure. Okay, so let me set these up here real quick. Boy, gnolls in 5e have a lot more hit points than gnolls in 1e.
I think everything in 5e has more hit points.
Yep, I think so too.
You just
Oops.
hit more often is the idea.
Yeah, exactly. So he did 1 hit point of damage to this gnoll. And I want to make sure that this one has 8. Okay, Arthur, you are up. Since you're just providing light, then you can have your 2 guys move them where you want and go ahead and roll your attack against armor class 5.
Against armor class 5, I need a 16, so here we go, rapid fire. 1 hit. No hit. And no hit. So 1 hit. That's 1 hit against the.
Okay, choose which one you wanted to shoot.
It's probably going to be just whoever's in the front at the time.
Okay, so that would be this gnoll number 1. So go ahead and roll your damage.
It's a D4.
D4 against large.
1 damage.
Oh, this is one of those games. This is going to be one of those games where every time you hit, you do 1 hit point of damage. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. And,
All right, I'll mark my bolts off, and that's my turn.
Okay. That's for all 3 of your guys, right?
Yeah, I fired 3 shots.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. Let's see. And Lathor. Lathor is going to move.
Hold on. I'm gonna see if we can hear sound. Somebody just messaged me and said they can't hear sound. Hold on.
Oh yeah. We've lost our. Am I going to have to reset the stream really quick? I'm going to be pissed off because, again, it looks like everything's working for me.
I don't hear any audio on my end.
I don't hear any audio on my
on
end.
Seriously?
Twitch.